Hi everyone. I realized that this last week was a very tough week on the stock market for most people, simply because of the volatility. We had, the market going sideways. We had the market going up and hitting its resistance and coming back down. We had the market going down, finding support and coming back up. We had Reliance signing up with, Facebook giving 10% of Geo, which moved the market on one of those days. But we had the second largest crash on a single day uh, this week. Plus, today was a really tough day for most people. And it's really tough as an investor to make money if you're just invested in long-term holdings and you don't know what to do when the going gets tough. When the market's going down around you, uh, you should understand that the shares that you bought and have shown you that you have a good profit, that profit is unrealized profit unless you sell the share and you get the profit in your hand. But most people make a mistake of thinking, hey, I'm invested in the long term. So if the market is having a bad day, I shouldn't do anything. I should just sit cool, watch it go down, and then come back up. It's okay. But I want you to know, for me, I think that's an opportunity lost. We got to make sure that we don't just do long-term trading. We also do short-term or swing trading as well as intraday trading whenever we can. We have to make the best of all three scenarios. It's not just long-term trading alone that will make you money. So let me give you an example. Today was a very bad day in the stock market. Let's put it. Okay. Even though the the reduction or the amount that the Nifty went down was not huge in terms of percentage terms, you could see red across all the entire market. In fact, I have like 39 stocks in my portfolio. I think around seven of them were really in the green. Everything else was in the red. What do I do on that day? And I want you to know that I have about 80 to 90%, 80% of uh, my investments, in the stock market are in long-term holdings, long-term or short-term holdings. And so when I see that happening, it gives me great concern because just yesterday my unrealized profit was so much, and now it's coming down right in front of my eyes. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And that's a question that people always face all the time. And so I want to give you two thoughts. One is that whenever uh, day is bad, whenever it's a bearish day on the market, one of the things that I do is I will check all the stocks that I have. I will see what the trend is for each of those stocks, and if necessary, I will sell the stock or I will short the stock from my holdings and try to recover it at the end of the day. And that's something that I try to do almost every day. I will see which share is not doing great, and then short the share and get it back at the end of the day. Uh, but there's another way too, and that is to intraday during the day to make some money to make up for the losses you might find in the unrealized profits from your long-term holdings on a bad day when it's all going down. So today, as you know, we saw the stock market doing having a fun ride. We started at about 9,320, but we ended up at 9,154. So that's about 160, 170 points that we lost today. And I want you to know that if you can see here, these are some of the shares that I have on my watch list. You will see that very few of them were in the positive. A lot of reds all throughout. So many reds. Okay, that's a depressing sight to see for anyone. So what did I do today? One of the things is I did short a few of my shares. I sold off some of my shares that I had got a good profit on, and I shorted some so that because when I saw that they were going down, I shorted them, bought them back at the end towards the end of the day, and made a profit of it. But another thing that I did do was also I intraday. Okay, so now I want you to know that I use Finvasia's Scalpert as my intraday trading app. I use Tide or from Zerodha for my long-term and short-term holdings. But for because on Zerodha you have delivery charges are practically nil, but their intraday costs of brokerage costs is quite high. I don't want to. I've learned, even though the first few days when I was intradaying on Zerodha, I was making good money, but a lot of it was getting swallowed up or eaten up by the brokerage costs. And so I transferred to Scalpert by Finvasia. I just started 2 days back. But you can see today, I just, I don't do a lot of intraday. I think my intraday position is not that big. I normally do only 100, 200 shares, uh, you know, at one shot. But I made about a profit of about 5,600 rupees today. Now you can see I only did it in 4 shares: Orbindo, Reliance, SR Transpen, and Sun Pharma. And what you will notice is that the average profit I made per share is somewhere between 2 to 3 rupees. So what am I doing? Let's put this very simply. Let's take up Reliance, for example, and let's put it on a 1 minute. Okay. What have I been doing when I watch this market is very simply every time I see a bounce, and I want you to know something that I did. I didn't short any of these. All of these trades were long trades, meaning I bought the share to sell the share for a profit. And I think I've done a total of almost, uh, like, looking at the numbers, I did about 20 trades, 20 trades of 100 or 200 shares each. Out of those 20 trades, only 2 or 3 were, went in the opposite direction of what I wanted. It ended up in a stop loss. Okay. So here's what I did. So out of the 20 trades I've done, 2 or 3 went the wrong way. Everything else, nearly 85% of my tradings all went the right way that I wanted to. So what did I do? Uh, Now, when I watch this share, I will see for when it's going to bounce. Okay? And that's one of the things that I do a lot. When I see the share trading at such a is going up and down, it's going up and down. What I do, I will probably enter when I see the bounce. Okay, I see it coming down and then it's going to bounce. I will quickly buy, and within 2, 3, 5 rupees of it going up, I will always keep a stop loss. Okay, so here's the thing: even if I buy it, say at 656, okay, this is not actually a time when I bought it, but let's use this as an example. Suppose I buy it at 656, I will keep a stop loss at 654 or so. If I lose it, that's fine. I rather get out quickly rather than stay and lose way more money. But every time I go long or short, I will always keep a stop loss. And then what next? Soon as I buy it, I will keep an eye on that share. The moment it goes up, if I ever see that there's a change in the trend on the technical charts, I immediately sell it off. Immediately. And so what I do is within 2, 3 minutes I buy. Within 2, 3 minutes I sell. 2, 3 minutes I buy. 2, 3 minutes I'll sell. And I wait for the trend. I don't simply buy because I feel like buying. I look for if the volumes are going up. I'll see if the trend is about to change, and I watch these. And you can see all of these shares that I was talking about are here on this technical chart. And so it is very simple. It is actually quite risk free. You have to be fast. One thing that really helps me is the fact that on Scalpert, on Finvasia, there is no brokerage. Okay, so for every trade that I make, the 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 difference that I have to make sure that so I get a minimum profit is 3 paise compared to about sometimes as much as 30 paise on Zerodha. And so just to make that, if I so I can buy one share at 200 and sell it off at 201, I would still have made a profit. So my aim is not to buy it at 200 and wait for it to go to 220, which it may or may not. But my aim is to look for the trend, buy, quickly enter, quickly exit. I do this a few times, in this case about 20 times, and the return is almost 6,000 rupees. It is one of the best ways to make money even when the market is bad. So today the market is bad. How do you make money? I want you to know I made money not by selling the shares. I made money by buying long on these shares. And this is something that I think is very useful for most people. You got to understand that you got to invest not just long term, but also swing trade, but also to do intraday. And if you want to learn more, just go and sign up at one of KWC's plans, and I'm sure that we can help you learn this better. There is a lot of people, almost 50, 60 people who have already signed up, who are learning how to invest better, invest well, and invest for their future. And so if you are interested, I would encourage you to do the same. Do visit our site, do visit our YouTube page, do visit our Facebook page, and sign up for one of those plans. We will get in touch with you and we want to help you.